Here on Valentine's Day, love is in the air, but Kevin Love will not be on the floor tonight in Minnesota or any other floor anytime soon. Love underwent arthroscopic surgery today in New York to remove a loose body in his left knee. He's expected to miss 6 weeks or so, a timeline that would get him back on the court around the end of March. Love is one of 5 players league-wide, averaging 20 points and 10 rebounds a night, good enough to earn him his first All-Star selection as a Cavalier. So Cleveland will have to try to sweep the season series against the Wolves without Love, who also sat out the win over many in Cleveland. Cavs are second in the league in made threes. They've hit 15 or more in 5 of 6. They'll face a Timberwolves team that is doing a better job this season of taking care of business at home, but still hasn't learned how to shut people down defensively. And Cavalier draft pick Andrew Wiggins is on a bucket binge, 20 or more points in 13 straight games, 3 shy of Kevin Garnett's team record. Ro Parrish made the trip north to catch the champs and the T-Wolves tonight. He joins us from Minneapolis. What you got, Ro?
Yeah, it's a good day here on Valentine's Day, but there is no Love, unfortunately. Of course, he's been putting up numbers. One of 5 players in the NBA that's averaging 20 points and 10 rebounds. So clearly somebody has to pick up the slack. But apparently LeBron James doesn't appear to be that concerned.
He's a little down, he's a little down, but it's part of it. Injury's part of the game, and it happens. And the best thing for us is we caught it early enough that he can get his surgery and then be ready to come back for the playoffs. So I'm glad we caught it early enough.
I rest when I retire. As long as I'm in the lineup, we got a chance. We good. Kev is out. Kev is out for an extended period of time. JR's been out, but I'm in the lineup. I'll be suiting up. We got a chance against anybody, so I ain't worried.
So, of course, LeBron James doesn't appear to be worried, but Coach Lue said also, we can't run LeBron into the ground. So far, the Cavs are only 2-7 against teams in the Western Conference, so they look to improve that tonight, and they get a little help in the lineup as Amon Shumpert returns from that ankle injury.
All right, Ro, thank you so much. Ro Parrish rocking the Valentine's Day garb, I might add.
Is that velvet?
Very
is that velvet?
Crushed velvet, baby.
What is that, velvet?
That's crushed velvet.
Yes,
That is.
It gets smooth.
That is crushed. That look good.
I'm glad I didn't go with that jacket. That would have been embarrassing tonight.
I have one exactly like that.
Well, we're all glad you didn't go with it. Trust me.
Appreciate that. So the Cavaliers, just as they're hitting their stride, they've won 5 of 6. All that stuff about the roster and the playmakers seems to have been a thing in the past, and now this. As a coach, lay out the next 5 or 6 weeks, whatever it turns out to be, without Kevin Love, if you're Ty Lue.
This is the start of the kickoff to the real season. After the All-Star game, teams that want to win a championship, it's how well you're playing then. You sit down with your group and you say, look, guys, we don't have Kevin Love for the next 5-6 weeks. You know what? Derek Williams, look what you're going to be able to do. Look at the advantage. We're going to go small. We're going to play different lineups. All you guys have a chance, and you become a better team because then all of a sudden those guys in the playoffs have confidence. They've played extended minutes. Kevin Love comes back, gets 2-3 weeks of playing. This is a chance to make you a better team. And I think that's what you stand in front of everybody. There's opportunity for everybody on this team, to look better on the floor because you have more time.
Kind of a couple of different phases to this thing because sometime in the next month or so, we don't know exactly when J.R. Smith is expected to return. So you've got that 3-week or so stretch before he comes back, and then maybe another 2 or 3 before Love comes back.
Well, I've always believed that when you have injuries on a playoff team, that if the guys can come back before the playoffs and get their rhythm, that it's usually a benefit. Why? Because you have guys on the bench that have been playing a better role, that have been getting more involved, and so I think that it could help. But on the other side, and I know we aren't talking about the other teams yet, so I think, Cleveland's going to be fine, have their bumps. But right now, if I'm Boston, and maybe Toronto, but if I'm Boston, I'm saying, listen, nothing's guaranteed. No one even thought we could get this far. But you know what our goal is? Is everybody's goal is to win the championship, to get a high seed. Right now, our goal is to get home court advantage. That's the #1 goal. Quit thinking about anything else. Because if you get home court advantage, anything can happen. You're only 2 games behind, and you're hoping that the Cleveland Cavaliers fall and lose, a few games there. So if I'm Boston, my eyes are set like, hurry up, Isaiah, go have fun at All-Star. But we need you back to take care of this business.
And that's less of a priority for the Cavaliers, who won Game 7 on the road in the NBA Finals last year. So there's an opportunity there. In the meantime, roster-wise, there effectively are 2 spots available on Cleveland's roster. Derek Williams is on a 10-day contract. They don't have to keep him. And they moved Chris Anderson the other day to create another spot. What should they be looking for?
They need a big. But, I think Derek Williams will be there for the rest of the season. And I think he's exactly the kind of player that they needed because he can play the 4. He can play some three. He can defend and rebound, which they're going to need. And he gives them an edge. I mean, he's a tough physical guy, which in a lot of ways, that's something they've missed. They haven't had guys on the front line that bring that edge. But I still think they need help there. You know, to your point, they're going to be getting back J.R. Smith at some point in the next 3 to 4 weeks. Kyle Korver's starting to figure out and get into a good rhythm offensively with this group. Shumpert will be coming back. But I think that front line can be shored up. That's another area where I'd be most concerned right now. They need more athleticism on the wing and the front line moving forward.
Meanwhile, in the immediate future, Kevin Love can't play in the All-Star game, obviously. Adam Silver will make the decision on an injury replacement. Who are you looking at?
Well, it's a tough call. I would probably go with Carmelo. You know, there are a lot of other ways you could go, but the guy that I think of is him, possibly Al Horford. But Al's missed a lot of games, too, this year. That's where I would probably lean, but it's a tough call. I'm glad I wouldn't have to pull the trigger on that and be Adam Silver.
Same here. Now, Whiteside, is he an All-Star? I kind of forgot. Is he an All-Star?
He didn't make the All-Star.
No.
Huh? And his team just won how many in a row? 13, 12, 11?
Yeah.
Come on, man. Whiteside.
Yeah.
I mean, Whiteside. I love everybody you said, because first of all, I wouldn't want to make this easier. And going first in this question is never good, but I would say Bill, Drummond. These are guys that are in the playoffs right now. Bill, Drummond, Wade, and Lowry are in the playoffs. Dwight Howard. But Whiteside, his team won, you know, we didn't even expect Miami to be in the thought of the playoffs. So I'm going with the big fella. The big man is back. Put some big men in the game.
Yeah, it's interesting you say that. Whiteside's a good name. It really is. I was thinking more Al Horford. I mean, you can say Carmelo, who I think will get it. You're 23 and 33 and couldn't be more dysfunctional. I mean, I'm talking from the whole program there is just oh my gosh.
We're not going to get in that tonight.
Yeah, no, I hope not. Maybe we will. But I'm just saying, when you're that dysfunctional, it's hard to put a guy on the team. You're like, how can you reward that?
In 12th place.
I'm going to go with Chris. I'm going to go big boy from Miami.
Well, they're not going to pick Phil Jackson. I think we're sure.
No.
That's not going to happen.
The GM of the team. Okay.
No.